this has been happening too much. Right before we record, Carly takes a handful of peanuts and chews it. Now I have to wait for her to finish chewing your damn peanuts before we can start. And I'm like, this is valuable time.
I always think I have
We're waiting.
a little bit more time than I actually have before. I'm just really hungry.
And now I have to watch you just like chew on these peanuts.
Why is that
Jeez
bugging
Louise,
so
I don't know
much?
why that bugs me so much.
Hello and welcome to the Merriment podcast. I'm Carly Jansen, and this week Johnny and I are kind of calling each other on our shit. We are having a really fun time and also dredging up some things that we haven't really talked about over the past year, like how mean we've been to each other since we became parents and how we can be better at that. A lot of relatable stuff here because we just stream of consciousness the whole time, and you might find that our confessions are things that you need to confess to yourself as well. So thanks for listening. Please enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and join the merriment.
And we're started right now.
Here we are. Me and Johnny and me.
Yeah, we're here.
Welcome to the weekly exercise of having regular conversations with each other.
Yeah, only once a week we talk to each other. This is the only time. Very healthy for a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's good to only talk once a week.
Keeping the love alive.
Just once a week, though. It's funny because we say at the end of each podcast, talk to you next week. So I wonder if people are like, oh. For a second, obviously we talk to each other.
Let's be honest, we totally talk to each other, but truly sometimes it is just about logistic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, laundry? Or, oh, when are you going to come home?
Has Forrest been fed?
Yeah,
No,
right.
It's your turn to get up with him.
Oh, I'm more tired than you are today. Nuh-uh.
Pissing contest.
Yeah, tired pissing contest. That happens a lot. I don't know if you parents can relate to that, but
pretty much every day.
I sure can.
Yeah, we regularly discuss who is more tired than the other.
Yeah, I feel like it's always me, but then
it's everyone's objective experience.
Yeah, but is it who's more tired or who can deal with being more tired?
Yeah, I think that that's always the tough part for me because I know you don't deal with being tired very well. And so I'm just like, oh man, I don't want Johnny to have to get up with Forrest because he was up late or something. But on the times that I've had really rough nights, I'm just like, but I also need sleep. So
yeah. I mean, and it's the worst parts of you come out when you're really tired and you have to do something, and those negotiation periods are.
You're not very nice to each other.
It's not very friendly.
Can we just come clean right now and say that we've probably been the meanest to each other that we've ever been over the past year?
Yeah, I agree. In the mornings when it's like...
In the mornings, yeah. But I mean, it's not just the mornings.
Yeah.
But I think just extra stress it just does that. I think it's important just to remember that it's circumstantial. Like, it's not actually that I don't like you or you don't like me.
Mm-mm.
It's just that we are under extra pressure to perform and do all of these extra household duties and responsibilities and all these things. And so it just kind of, you're not always functioning at your best self.
And the feelings are compartmentalized into those situations. So I'm never like, oh my gosh, can you believe what Carly said? Oh my goodness. It's always
really?
Like, well, we were tired. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that mutual? Do you?
Mostly.
Do you feel like, oh no? I'm like, it's tired. At least I've gotten into the habit of forgiving myself, at least for my little mini hissy
forgive
fits.
Me.
Well, that's important, I think. Maybe it's not. Maybe
you need to ask for forgiveness first.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, jeez. Well, I think it's like the asking for forgiveness point comes after things are resolved. And in order for me to ask for forgiveness or maybe say I'm sorry, that's the same thing. I have to be okay with what I did first. Do you know what I mean?
Is that a thing?
I think so. I think it's just like...
It feels true.
Yeah, you can shove things down and then you don't want to admit it. And that's when you can be defensive about certain feelings. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you start with, you know what, I did something crappy. I'm human. I feel bad, but I forgive myself. Then maybe the next step of apologizing to somebody else it makes it a little bit easier.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. I think I've been learning how to do that.
Good for you.
Oh,
It's a tough one.
yeah, it is. And that's the hardest part is when you're like, you don't want to be that person with
I know.
with the behavior.
Totally. It's so
issues.
weird. It is a really weird thing. Like I would say since being married and especially since having a kid, parts of you come out that you just really wish were not a thing.
Oh yeah.
You're just like, I don't like. And I think because you don't like the way that you are behaving, you then start to, in a way, resent the other person for making you behave that way.
Oh
You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm
You're
with
just
you.
like, I don't want to be that person. And now when I'm with you, I'm that person. So how do you get around that?
Oh geez, I know that feeling. How do you get
Mm-hmm.
around it? I don't know. You just
Once
day
again,
to day,
you just
learn
remember it's circumstantial.
circumstantial. You learn how to forgive yourself. Mm-hmm. I think first, maybe you become okay with it, and then it gets less and less each time. I don't think you're ever gonna solve your problems or your behavior or attitude problems right away. It's kind of just like slowly kind of breaking a habit or slow, like exercise. Like it's like a muscle,
Yeah.
like anything. You just try like little baby steps, little teeny tiny little baby booby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily run away from it, but let yourself move towards it.
Yeah.
To keep practicing that.
Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then, just have a lot of patience.
And I think also still making time for things like this where we can have a nice time together.
And we can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm so hot. I need to take this sweater off.
Okay. I feel better that you've taken the sweater off too.
Really?
Yeah. You've just feels like you're next level. You've leveled up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I just got really serious.
Yeah. Wow. You take the sweater off.
All right. I mean, business
I'm
now.
gonna take the sweater off now. Oh shit. She took her sweater off.
Oh,
This conversation is
dang.
gonna go in a new direction, or a more refined direction.
You know what really comes to mind for me, though, is like I can breastfeed way more easily now.
Yeah, true. That's what you think about, right? Oh yeah, that's something I'll never understand, I guess, because we didn't even
You
bottle
really
feed.
won't.
We didn't even bottle feed, so I don't have the duties of feeding a baby. I didn't get to do that. Maybe
Yeah.
once or twice, like feeding like a newborn
Yeah.
milk.
Now you are getting the joys of feeding Forrest solid food.
It's the most hilarious thing in the world to me.
It's so satisfying too when
Oh
he's
my
actually
gosh.
eating.
Yeah.
But that's that feeling of being so satisfied when he's finally eating is the feeling that I would get when he would finally start, like just not squirming around anymore or, not like worrying away trying to like get a proper latch. He's just like fully having a good solid nurse, not distracted. That is so satisfying.
That was one of the things about having a baby I didn't know was going to be a huge thing, was breastfeeding and how hard it was.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like baby comes out right away, knows what to do. Kind of like how like a horse is just like, oh yeah, I can walk.
Yeah.
I thought that's at least the one thing a newborn can do.
I know,
but-
right? Like, and why not? A baby
No, yeah.
able to like get food. There's a lot of other far more capable babies that come out. But then again, you have to remember babies still actually should be in the womb for another, I think it's 9 months.
3 months, because
3
it's the
months?
fourth trimester.
Ah, yes, that's what it is.
So, and there's a notable difference after the first 3 months. All of a
Right.
sudden, it's like a fog is cleared. Mm-hmm. It could be the baby development, but it also could be it takes a good 3 months for us to adjust, for people to adjust. I don't know what it is, one or the other, because that's true for a lot
For
of things.
hormones to adjust.
Yeah, because like if you start exercising, and you're not used to it, by 3 months of doing it regularly, you'd
You're going to feel the difference.
oh yeah,
Totally.
like 3 months is enough to train for a half marathon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Shit.
Plenty.
So when you think of having a baby, yeah,
Give yourself 3 months and then you'll get into the groove.
and then you'll be a marathon baby.
Then you know what? That's a really good point. Actually, is I think that's a thing that people often will say is, just do this new thing now. If your baby isn't sleeping, for instance, like try this new thing, and then finally the baby's sleep habits change. But it's really, I've asked myself how much of it is just time. Like people who are sleep training their kids, which I have absolutely zero experience with. So I'm just talking out of my ass here. But if you try and sleep train a baby, or you spend time, trying to change your baby's sleep habits, how long did that take? Did it take like the entire time of a developmental leap? Because the end of your developmental leap could be the reason why your baby changed their sleeping habits, not the actual thing that you did differently in your parenting.
So hard to tell. I don't even know how you study something like that.
Sometimes studies are just futile because it's like you can't, there's way too many variables.
Yeah, totally. And I don't know enough about studies to know which studies are valid or not. There's just so many studies, new studies every day.
Yeah,
you want to know studying.
You want to know the newest study? This is my study of this cup of white wine that I'm drinking.
Give me a thorough study. Give me a thorough study right now.
Okay, well, it is a beautiful Chardonnay that actually glints nicely in this crystal cup that I'm drinking.
Wow.
It's unoaked from 2016.
Ooh, unoaked. What does that mean? Just go with it.
You know what? It means that there was no barrel involved, no oak barrel involved in the
so what do they use instead?
In the fermenting of this wine. So instead, actually, they use crystal casks.
Wow.
Very much like this glass that I'm holding here.
Wow.
And, so that adds an extra ting flavor to the wine.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I am getting that now, the notes of ting and some distinct grape notes in there as well.
The notes of ting. Let me just get a note. Get it on that.
How come nobody ever says this wine has notes of grape? It's always like tobacco and apricot. Like, what about grape?
Yeah. This is. Let's try this. It does taste like grapes. I can't believe I've never realized that.
Nobody says it.
It reminds me of when you're a kid and you're like, what's a raisin? And then you realize a raisin is a grape and you're like, what?
Yeah. Was it a realization for you though? Did you just put that together?
I don't know.
Or did somebody tell you? Because I certainly was not deducing in any way that
neither.
A raisin was a grape just on my own.
Except for I think French class hinted at it because it's like grapes is like what? Isn't it like raisin?
Right. Yeah, something like that.
I just know it's on the cereal.
Friends. Man, I am so not on it today. I really don't. What do you think of this wine?
Okay. Let's just give it a swirl.
I thought you said it tastes like grapes. I thought you already had some.
Yeah, it tastes like grapes. You got to chew the wine. I've heard it's a proper way.
Does it have a sharp bite?
Tastes like grapes with a little hint of turpentine. I don't know what turpentine tastes like, but it just came to my
into your vocabulary.
Turpentine,
right?
The word, not like turpentine, but the word turpentine.
Okay, if we're gonna go there, I feel like I am getting hints of perpendicular in this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, perpendicular. Let me try this again.
Man, this is really good wine. Holy
I like
moly.
it. It's not too sweet.
Yeah, so this is, if you're curious and you're just like, dang, this is making me thirsty.
Wow, I want some turpentine wine.
I feel like your words are a little less appealing than the ones that I've been using.
Turpentine?
Yeah.
Just like try to just not think about what just divorce your mind, like your definition of what turpentine is. Just think turpentine.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And then also rhymes with wine. Turpentine wine.
Oh, yeah, we should start a winery. But the slogan will be divorce the meaning of turpentine from your mind.
Wow. And
try our wine.
Oh, and if we just package it well enough and we just really market it, there'll be some wine snobs out there being like, "Oh, I'm getting a hint of turpentine in this wine."
Yeah.
Turpentine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of like, oh, does that wine have legs? It's like, does that wine have turpentine? What is turpentine? Now that I'm saying
Pretty sure it's a paint thinner.
Okay. Now that I'm saying it, I'm like turpentine. It's working. I'm divorcing from that meaning.
You're totally forgetting what the meaning of the word is.
Turpy.
Yeah.
Turpentine. It's turpentine.
It's turpentine.
Yeah.
So this Prospect is from Prospect Winery, and it is Townsend Jack 2016 unoaked Chardonnay. We have to take a note of this because I'm terrible at actually making sure I know what wines I like.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it.
I've taken a lot of pictures of wine bottles.
And then never looked at them again.
looked at
Same.
them, yeah. I wonder if we should just like, I bet if we wrote it down, we'd remember. If we just have a notebook, and I want to remember that.
Don't you just miss those old-fashioned days of writing things down? For some reason, I have something against like the notepad in my phone. Just like, I don't want to write in my phone. The whole point of me writing something down is to like have that the tangible feeling of doing the physical act.
Right.
And that in part helps me remember.
Yeah. Don't you miss the times when you could remember things? Man, I used to remember so many phone numbers. I used to remember everybody's phone number. I didn't have a phone book. I didn't write things down.
My gosh,
it was just in my mind. The other day when I saw Dennis, I don't know how we got in the topic of their home phone because they used to call it all the time, and it had probably been almost 10 years since I called that number, and I was able to remember it.
I can still remember my friend from middle school's phone number that lived down the road.
Wow. Do you remember my phone number right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I remember yours.
I really worked to make sure I memorized that number.
Me too.
Though. Like you have to focus now, because why would you remember a phone number? But that's how a brain works. It's quite interesting. Our brains are very efficient this way. They're just like, don't need that. Toss it.
Get out of here. I've actually been, there's moments, it was on Friday when I took the SkyTrain somewhere and I was going to an address I hadn't memorized. I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't have any of the phone numbers of the people that I was going to meet.
Dangerous.
And I was like, what if my phone dies? What am I going to do? Like, what do I do? I have no idea. Do I go to like a restaurant or a somewhere and ask to use their computer to log into Facebook and message you and hopefully you respond?
Yeah.
Or respond to
You're
somebody?
Stranded.
I don't have any, like, where are my contacts?
Yeah.
maybe the average person is like, oh, you just store it on the cloud. It's easy. But I don't know.
And also, so I guess computer would probably be the more efficient way, or like using somebody's phone, which is super sketchy. If somebody asks you to borrow their phone, like you do them an up and down and you're just like,
It's like,
and that's when you're just like fully prejudicing
I feel
somebody.
like because our phones are so attached to us now, it's kind of like, hey, can I hold your hand for 5 minutes? It's like, like I really need to just hold your hand with the interlocking fingers.
But you know what? This really brings us
only 10 seconds. I feel like it's similar because it's an intimate thing. You're on your phone all the time. You're messaging all sorts of emotions, spreading it around.
But where's your sense of charity? Your sense of being a good Samaritan, your sense of a village, as we were talking about last podcast, which we need to visit something in that topic. But where is that sense of like helping your fellow man or woman or
they, them?
I don't know. I don't exactly know how the right context for that. I apologize.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me. You.
Okay, but
I think it's cis.
Cis?
Yeah, I think it's cis. I don't know, but I know that there's laws in Canada right now that can get us in trouble if we misgender somebody.
Wait. Those laws got passed?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
So
this is interesting. You've told me about this before.
Yeah.
At first, when you started talking about it, I was like, dude, like this is a sensitive topic to be, talking against these laws. Not
against them. It's just like being aware that this exists. And it's just the mere fact of there's now a law in Canada for the first time that is, if you say something, it's like,
if you don't use the proper pronoun, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the preferred pronoun of the person, the gender, the preferred pronoun for their gender.
Yes.
Right? You can be sued or something.
Yeah. You can get in trouble.
It's considered a hate crime.
Yeah.
If somebody says they prefer to be called they.
Or worm. Or there's over 70 of them, I think, and counting.
Worm?
Worm is one of them.
Would somebody actually want to become called
and there's
worm?
Z and Zer.
Why would somebody want to be called worm?
I don't know. You gotta just, some people have their
things.
This is what I'm all about. Just like, I feel like we could all be just really respectful and listen to people.
This is what I remember you saying to me is if, somebody prefers to be called they or worm or whatever, we are going to call them that out of respect for them as a human being, not because a law tells us to. As soon as a law starts to control what we can say, that becomes extremely dangerous.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, I've heard a few people explain why that's really dangerous. And I feel like that's at the limits of my intellectual capabilities right now because I haven't really, gone into it or formed a very strong opinion. I just know that there's some stuff going on about that. And I find it really interesting.
You're going to, I'm really excited for you to go to this debate.
Yeah. So
Who is it?
It's
Jordan
Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson at the Orpheum. I'm really excited. They're two very smart and very kind of famous intellectuals right now going at it on topics like free will and truth. It's really crazy, but I'm excited. I'm like at the edge of understanding everything that they say, and that's very stimulating. But as soon as it's over, it's kind of like, what the? It's like listening to somebody do a crazy guitar solo and just being like, what? And then you just pick up a guitar and you're like, I can't.
That's a great analogy.
That's what it feels like. But you get it at the time, in the moment. You're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Wow, I get it. My mind is being blown. And then like, great, now you play it. Like, ugh.
Ooh.
That's what on this podcast is like. Is like when we talk about these pronouns thing. It's like handing me the guitar. I'm like, go for it. Play that solo. And I'm like, I
haven't practiced.
I haven't written an essay on this.
That's a really great analogy, actually.
I just came up with it, and it makes me feel a little bit more relaxed about.
There you go. You should use that analogy all the time. And I know you will.
And it can be painting. It can be anything, really. It can be like a race car.
Yeah.
Just like a really fast car. Be like, oh yeah, I see them drive it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
It actually took me a really long time to learn that. I don't have to try and be as good as people who I admire in their craft. That's a thing that, like, for some reason, I mean, we've discussed what type A means, and I never actually looked it up. So I don't know if I actually am type A. Type A? Type A.
I was like, why don't we get into martial arts? No. Type A. That's not martial arts. It's a
city. Yeah,
okay, we flew
Taiwan.
into I'm going to fly into Taipei in like less than a month.
Oh, yeah. But okay, backtrack for a second. I'm totally losing my train of thought here.
I thought it was like Taipei was like martial arts, like Taekwondo.
No, type A.
That's just where my mind went. I was like, Taipei? And then I was like, martial arts, and then a country, and then now we got to loop back around.
Yeah, type A personality, which I suspect to mean like just really particular about, and like go-getter and super high achiever type of person,
right.
which I tend to be. I was like an A student in high school, whatever.
Way to go.
So, thanks.
Straight
God,
A's.
That feels so lame. Stop.
No, I'm like straight A's. That's pretty impressive. It's right.
But you know what? It's just I'm very confused about it. Like I actually do feel proud of it, but also I don't feel like people who got C's through school are dumb or any less than me.
Oh yeah, true.
So yeah, everybody has their things,
Right.
And so for me, I'm an extremely like particular person and like overachiever in some ways. But I don't remember why I was talking about that.
Type A.
Yeah.
Type A personality.
We were leading into that because I don't remember what we were talking about before.
Oh, I really derailed. Let's go back. So type A, we were talking about.
We weren't talking about type A. I was using it as a tool to describe my reaction to something you were saying.
Okay. The beauty of what we're doing.
Oh, I know.
Okay. I was just going to say we could go back and
we
listen.
totally can. So when people are able to, play an instrument or do something really well, and then I feel like I need to try and do it as well. And so that's where like perfectionism comes in for me. And I get really hard on myself because I'm like, there's just a part of me that's like, I understand what they're doing, so I should be able to do it too.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I know that all too well.
I know you do because I'm pretty sure we're the same in this way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And it makes me sad when I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be a rock climber.
Yeah. And then you get all discouraged and then you don't want to do anything. But instead, what I've been really learning lately is to just be okay with like sucking at something, which I think we talked about a few podcasts ago. Just like suck at it for a while. Like I'm working on finally putting some footage together from our Southeast Asia trip because I'm trying to get a grant for it to actually do like a short film, documentary style. And I'm just like struggling through it. It's hard. It's hard to do. You make it look easy, But, I am coming to the realization that it's not easy and that I have a lot of practice to do. And maybe one day I actually will start to feel like it's a little easier, but I got to put my time in.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was just starting working and I thought I had a big ego and I was like, I got talent, but I didn't have the time. And so I always was overly ambitious and I thought I could do projects that I actually couldn't. And I would see people that were much older than me and be like, I can do what they can do. But now I'm like, I see those overly ambitious people like I was. It's like, oh man, I still have a lot to learn. Holy crap. Like, and it's just realizing that things take time and things take discipline. And I think that's just what getting older is.
Yeah. The wiser you get, the what's that saying? The more I know, the more I realize I don't know.
Yeah.
It's big time. But I do also feel it's kind of generational for us too. Like this, we want results fast.
Yeah.
We don't want things to take a lot of time. And I am like kind of with my tail between my legs realizing that I'm not immune to that. I also have that kind of mindset that I need to kick to the curb because just put your freaking time in. You are not going to just be like a prodigy at something as soon as you try. Apparently as soon as you just put your back into a little bit, you're like, But that is the problem that I've had. This is partly where it's come from for me, is that as soon as I did try a little bit, that's when I would get the A, or that's when I would finally like be able to do the solo in on the saxophone for band.
Nice.
I'd practice once and finally I'm like, oh, I get it. So that's the type of thing that makes me think I should be able to, as soon as I finally try a little bit, then I can nail it. And it actually hasn't really served me in adult life very well because I try things and I'm like, okay, I'll try a little bit. And then I do, and then I don't nail it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore. And it's like, well, that's why I'm a master of, jack of all trades and master of none.
Master of trades and jack of none.
Anyway, that's my weakness. What's yours?
What's my weakness?
Because that's what this has become about.
The talking before I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, running my mouth. It's always been my weakness. I mean, it's been a strength in some areas.
You definitely whipped me up in it.
Yeah? Oh yeah. Or
I think that's how I felt
is.
for you for sure.
Well, I'm very good at convincing people. Like I did this personality test,
Strengths Finder,
and that was number one strength is winning others over. So I'm really good at getting people excited about things. But
me especially.
Yeah, but I don't do the due diligence of really understanding it first. Like I would be a very good network marketer if I really committed to it and didn't think it was sketchy.
Yeah, if you really believed in that kind of thing.
Like
you'd be an amazing motivational speaker.
I was thinking the other day, I was talking with my buddy Kane, and there was a time when I did a juice cleanse, and I was doing this master cleanse, and I convinced Kane, my friend, and his mom, and Kyle and his mom to all do it. And they all got sick and they hated it. And I don't know how. I was just
it's like that thing was intense. The juice cleanse? Yeah. Or was it the lemon and cayenne pepper? That is messed up.
That was stupid.
So stupid.
I mean, I lost a bunch of weight. It did kickstart.
Of course you did, because you're not eating anything. You're just drinking water with lemon and cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was terrible.
Wasn't it 2 weeks?
10 days.
That is so messed up.
Yeah. I did juice cleanse too, which is crazy because that's a lot of sugar.
That is a ton of sugar, but at least there's like a bunch of stuff in there. Like that's the amount of vegetables that go in and fruits that go into making those juices is just astronomical. It's ridiculous. But cayenne pepper and lemon in water, and that's what you're living on for 10 days. You're starving yourself.
Yeah, you get kind of sickly skinny. Weight. And I was like, oh, I'm thin. Wow, I'm healthy. It's like the weird thing is, I don't know how, but you do get a lot of energy after like day 3.
Your body's probably tapping into some kind of fat stores and, just trying to function. And
I don't know. I think the best kick I've ever done is kind of right now with this ketogenic low carb thing. I feel great. And it feels more like a lifestyle. I've dropped close to 20 pounds now.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell off. And
It's amazing.
I'm
I
not
mean,
really,
it's funny that you say that though, because, it just kind of fell off. Like, well, you're not eating sugar anymore. You're not
Yeah.
eating any carbs
No.
and, well, almost no carbs at all.
yeah.
And that means you can't snack on things. You can't snack on chips or crackers or.
But I get full now. I didn't get full before. I could just eat, like, especially with things like pasta or bread. I can just shovel that in my mouth. But now I just have a meal like tonight. It's like zucchini noodles and some prawns.
Prawn curry.
Sustainable prawns. Ocean Mama, in fact. Prawn curry. And it was just like I had one bowl. And it was maybe like a little scoop seconds. And then I was like, oh, that's good. I feel good. Stop.
Yeah. I mean, the only downfall, there's a couple of downfalls to that diet. And a lot of it falls on me is doing the cooking for it. It's just like trying to come up with what to do for dinner when like you can't like go down the regular path of, what you would make if it's like, oh, we'll do like, a potato hash with chorizo and cheese. And it's like, nope, get rid of those potatoes. What's it going to be?
It's the cheap and easy things are all carbs.
Yeah, totally.
It's, breads are really cheap. And,
Yeah.
and now, honestly, that I've been doing it since October. So
How many months?
6 months,
Yeah.
5-6 months. I just look at bread. Like I have carbs once a week. And now I have that, and it just tastes like nothing. I'm like, if I have pizza, I'm like, I look at the pizza as the toppings, and the bread is just, there's no flavor.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't do
No, it
anything.
makes
Or
sense.
pasta just doesn't.
It makes
do-
sense
yeah.
because, I mean, people listening to this probably, there's a lot of people that think you're crazy because they're like, you need carbs. The Canada Food Guide says you need carbs.
You can't. You're not the boss of me, listener. You can't tell me what to do. I'm my own boss. I have a really big problem with people telling me what to do.
Yeah, you do.
This morning was a
Point
great
of contention.
I'm happy we can laugh about it. I think it's important.
I think especially when the microphone's on, we can laugh about it. So
Yeah.
this is great. Let's do this every week.
Right,
I was like super not into this earlier today, and it's going well. So
This
I'm
is
happy.
going great.
Yeah.
Wow. This is you know what?
The wine
You
is
out there.
flowing.
This is like a great marriage counselor. I feel like our audience, whoever's listening to this,
You're our marriage counselor.
you are our marriage counselor.
Thank you.
Because it's nice.
Put it on your resume.
Yeah. Because there's something about being listened to is kind of like a form of accountability. Mm-hmm, like
definitely.
I am challenged to be my better self when I talk to you about
Exactly.
things, and it translates into how I feel about it too.
Yeah, Johnny,
Yeah.
this is amazing. You know why? Because it goes back to what we were saying earlier in this podcast, that the way that we make each other feel leaves us with a feeling about each other. So like if I feel like I'm a crappy person when I'm around you because my guard is down and I'm not feeling very well and I'm tired and I'm not treating you very well, that makes me feel bad about myself, and I associate that with hanging out with you, right?
Right.
So here we are having a great time,
Good old time.
on our
Yeah.
podcast, and we walk away feeling great about each other. So basically everybody in a relationship needs to do something like this for their relationship.
Or just communicate.
Yeah.
Like really uninterrupted. All you're doing is talking. You're not watching anything, or you're not talking about events. You're just and the interesting thing with this is we also have the challenge to not be boring or not talk about things that are too exclusive. Like we
Totally.
can't talk really about our days because there's too much context that our audience would need. So now it's just pure ideas. And I think what was that quote? I forget who said it, but it was small minds talk about people.
Average minds.
Average minds talk about people.
Good minds talk about events, and great minds talk about ideas.
Yeah, that stuck with me. Who says that? Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty sure. Although
He does a lot of great quotes.
I think people like to attribute quotes
Birdie.
to Albert Einstein because you'll take them more seriously if it was him that said it. So I might have seen that with an Albert Einstein take on it, but didn't check their sources. So
Good old Albie. He's got a knack for quotes.
yeah, I wish I could have met him.
Yeah.
He'd
Me
probably
too.
be like a really quirky, interesting person to talk to, and he probably would not want to talk to me.
Unless you could speak German.
Oh yeah, right. You just like assume a person can speak English. It's so silly.
With this Americanized world we live in, everybody can speak English.
But you know what this is like? Doing this podcast is kind of like we're on a date when we were like back in the early days of our relationship, right?
Yeah, that just reminded me. Remember when we were long distance and we'd visit each other, we wanted to meet at a coffee shop beforehand. We really wanted to do this. I still want to do this sometime.
I do too.
We go in
business attire.
In business attire, and we have briefcases, and we have like a 30-minute business meeting. We don't, and this is like we hadn't seen each other for a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. We don't hug and kiss. We just act so formal, and we don't smile, and we just like present each other with documents that we need to sign and pitch each other on business ideas. Mm-hmm. And kind of work through
show
spreadsheets.
Graphs and which I think that we had said like the business documents that we were presenting would kind of just be nonsensical.
Yeah,
like they wouldn't actually.
We try to make each other laugh.
Yeah,
and then
that's what it was. We'd try and make each other laugh, and
then we would just finish and be like, okay, thank you, very nice, shake hands, and then meet at my place or your place.
Yeah,
and then just be like, what? That would be so trippy. That'd be so weird. I wonder if it'd get dark. I wonder if you'd just be like, we'd do it once. I'm like, I don't like.
It could be actually. It could feel really strange, or we could like meet up and just be like, "Hey, so."
It could be this weird fetish.
Yeah, totally could.
Because some people have the fantasy of like cheating on their significant other with their significant other, and so that's where like role playing comes in.
Oh yeah.
So this is like a weirder, more wholesome kind of silly role playing.
It's like improv. You get together and do an entire improv scene, and then it gets you all like jazzed.
Oh man,
and excited.
I know that feeling so well, and I love it when you're just
feeling?
when you're so in a character and you're locked in with somebody else.
Oh, it's amazing.
And you get deeper and deeper into it, and then it feels good. It feels good.
It feels really good. I am gonna start that improv group that I was telling you about.
You gotta do it.
It's all I need to do is find a place in the city that is a meeting place, a venue for me to get, because I already know a bunch of people that want to get together and do improv. Hey, by the way, like if you live in Van City and you want to go and get together with a bunch of other drama kids
and pretend
and do improv, hit me up because we're gonna do this
at our house.
No.
Why not?
No. We don't have the space for that.
Come over to our house, 42 East Avenue.
What?
V5W.
Honey, do not.
Credit card number.
I'm beeping this out. Okay.
Come over to our house anytime you want.
Oh my gosh, Johnny. But yeah, I'm totally gonna start that. So speaking of like moving on the fly and just like rolling on the wind and making stuff happen, we did not get together with our neighbors.
No,
we failed the challenge.
It was a busy week.
And we
were tired, and I'm pretty sure we were sick, and we needed all
there
those
were times.
excuses. We BC bailed on our own plans.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's be honest. Like we are definitely the type of people to have ideas and goals and not always accomplish them.
And we're also very busy. I mean. Mm-hmm. Excuses.
Okay, but Sunday.
Excuses.
Sunday.
This is.
What did we do Sunday?
We went to a church.
And then we hung out.
For the first time in a long time.
Yeah, and it was crazy because the sermon was about grieving.
Yeah.
Which was like just crazy timing. But then we came home. We hung around. We maybe cleaned the kitchen a little bit, and then Forrest went down for a nap, and then we went for a bike ride.
Oh yeah.
That's all really important stuff, though.
That was great. Yeah.
We could have replaced the bike ride with going and talking to our neighbors. You know, we just don't take our goals very seriously, and I have to say that is one thing that I have adopted from you.
Oh, ow. Ooh, ow. Ouch. Wow.
A little.
You know what? If I look at my accomplishments, I still think I don't take that as a jab because I have accomplished a lot.
You do. And this is the thing about you is you have a whole whack load of ideas and things that you want to do. And just like, it's almost like you throw more spaghetti noodles at the wall. And so
spaghetti noodles at the wall,
and some stick, right?
And then
then there's just so many more spaghetti noodles that fall down onto the wall. I mean, onto the floor. You're just like wasting all this spaghetti, but you got more stuck to the wall. Now it's art.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't eat spaghetti, so I can just throw as much as I want.
Exactly. Maybe that is why you throw so much spaghetti at the wall. Is because you're just like, I don't want carbs. You know what? I have placed no value in this, and so you throw it at the wall.
All the spaghetti at the wall.
Whereas I'm like super conservative about it. I just like throw a few spaghetti things to the wall, and like most of the time they stick. Like I'll only throw it at the wall if it's gonna stick, kind of thing.
Here's a question: if you overcook your spaghetti and you throw it against the wall, is
I
it
think
still gonna stick?
I kind of think it still sticks.
Because like I used to have a problem of overcooking it.
So it doesn't
I guess
really work
you just
for you.
like you just always throw spaghetti at the wall.
I'm just imagining Italian restaurants that are just like,
So
hi.
It's just spaghetti everywhere.
But I'm kind of combining Italian restaurants with Japanese restaurants because they're always like yelling and saying hi and stuff.
Hi. I was like, oh, that's Japanese. Is that Japanese? Hi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Hi-ya.
The number of times I've walked into a sushi restaurant in Vancouver and the kitchens, the guys are like, and it's usually guys, but you know, some female sushi chefs. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, they just
Why
like they yell
why
hello
do you have
at
to
you.
say the gender? Why do you?
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No, but it slipped out, so I had to I had to compensate. I'm trying to be like, you know,
You could get in big trouble.
I'm trying to be inclusive.
against the
Inclusive
law.
language is a thing.
Okay. Yeah. You're
I want
right.
to make people feel accepted because they are.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know,
Okay.
you walk into a sushi restaurant and they're just like, hi.
Hi.
I've had it so many times.
Wait,
where
are they saying hi to you?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You haven't had that before?
No.
It's wonderful.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you
And
were
Korean restaurants
I
too.
thought you were actually like referring to like when they're cutting up the sushi, be like, hi.
It could be.
Could be. And then
I really
you're like,
love
every time
expressive
you're
cultures.
Like, hi. Wow.
I really,
These people
really
are so
love
nice.
cultures that are like super vocally expressive. Oh, like there's this video by a company called Great Big Story, and it's about these mochi makers in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy. Have you seen that video?
I have.
The guy's just pounding on the mochi, and like one guy's pounding on it with his fist, the other one's hitting it with the hammer, and they're like yelling at each other. Hi.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
I saw
amazing.
something similar with sticky rice being made, like not like
Right.
where they actually have I think it was a Taiwan festival
Cool.
in Vancouver, and then you could take turns. It was like this.
Yeah, I was there.
It was great. It was
Uh-huh.
like felt really good to do that, and
Yeah.
I would love to do that. Maybe I can do that when I go to Vietnam. Something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
So
I'm gonna be surrounded by food.
let's talk about this because I
Really?
think this is exciting.
Work?
Yeah. Well, you're going to Vietnam.
I'm
in
going to
like
Vietnam
a few weeks
for
you're going
work.
on a work trip to
That's
pay
crazy.
to Vietnam. This is just like you're living the dream.
And not just a work trip. I'm going on like I'm directing a cooking show, which is pretty cool.
So cool. Well, you already do direct a cooking show.
But yeah, I'm doing one on like abroad, which I'm nervous at. I was nervous at first, but it's that those nerves are slowly transitioning into excitement, which has been something I've been learning about lately.
Translating nerves into excitement.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And now I don't get
actually.
afraid of nerves anymore. I'm just like, if I get nervous, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. I'd say
I like
that's in the last few months, that's been my reality.
Okay, I like that. I feel like I've had a taste of that lately. Like since I started working again.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I get some nerves too. And then I use that for like anticipation and for like using that for my work drive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good because that means there's something. It's like, ooh, it's like you gotta scent. You gotta go, oh, I gotta follow this. It's like our favorite book, one of our favorite books, The War of Art. It's like, it's good. Fear should be your compass. Just like if you feel fear towards something, obviously not like a bear, but like something in life, if something's just like, oh, that's like you're intimidated by it, just like go for it. David and Goliath, man.
Jump
Just
into
like,
it.
Oh yeah, baby.
It's kind of like stage fright. I didn't have like, I feel like everyone probably feels varying degrees of stage fright if you're not nervous to go on when you're in a play or doing a performance of some kind. Then your performance, it's not across the board, but it might not be on point as much as if you are nervous when you go on.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. This just made me think about it. You know, the term like break a leg.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like addressing the nerves. I was in a play called The Importance of Being Earnest. And what we would say to each other is get an erection. Because like break a leg is like, oh, you could break, and everybody's like, so, oh my gosh, you know, like this is crazy. You just broke your leg. Call the ambulance, and everybody's engaged and feel bad for you. But like get an erection is like, oh no, it's bad. Oh,
We have a crying baby.
What a way to
I just want to
pause the
say, though,
podcast
I
on.
really just want to say, though, that wasn't that in high school?
Yeah.
I'm really impressed that you guys didn't say get a boner.
Yeah, it was get an erection. I thought in my head, was it get a boner? No. We're drama kids.
Yeah.
Right? And we're in a play called The Importance of Being Earnest.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Can you,
okay.
you probably should take
Do you want me to
that boy
pause
on.
it or?
We should pause it.
Okay. And we're back. Welcome back to Carly and Johnny
All right.
on
Welcome
the
to
mics.
the program.
Welcome to the program.
That was a long stint.
Yeah.
I needed peanuts when I got out.
Yeah. You needed to get refreshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needed refreshments.
Refreshments.
Do you ever like hear that word and get excited?
Refreshments? Yeah, I do. Yeah, refreshments.
I feel like anytime that there's like something that's like refreshments, I think I've been in the bedroom for a little too long. I can't even talk right now.
What does a refreshment mean? This is like a mint.
Well, I think I've kind of I've become a little bit more privy to like a lot of places, especially in the city. I feel like when they say refreshments, it basically just means like coffee and like store-bought cookies.
Okay.
But when I was younger, man, that word got me excited because you never know. Like, it's such a vague word.
Okay, let's define refreshments. It's a snack of some kind? No.
We can define it by what it's not. Okay, first it's edible.
Yeah, or drinkable.
It's edible or drinkable, and it's not just water. But that could mean that it is juice and crackers.
I think
soda
it's juice and crackers, yeah. The bare minimum. Refreshments.
It could be. However, I have seen refreshments before that was like an elaborate table of like appies, basically.
Wow. But that's the refreshments. It feels like it needs to be a little bit dialed back.
Yeah.
If somebody's providing an elaborate spread of refreshments, like, come on, dial it back. Who are you trying to impress here? All we need is a little bit of a nibble.
I feel like it is in the same camp as continental breakfast.
Yeah, totally.
Which
just
I still haven't
like,
quite figured out what it is. Like maybe miniature croissants.
Maybe.
And fruit.
But that's like
and
a
coffee
nice
with Coffee Mate.
Yes, right. Refreshments. I stupidly I think of mints, like refresh mints.
So literal.
Yeah, that's where my brain goes. Refreshments.
That's fair enough.
We should start doing that. See how people, when we have people over, be like, "Hey, would you like some refreshments?" Maybe. Yeah. See, if somebody said that to me, if I were to be honest, I would think, "Oh yeah, I'll have like a glass of water with some cucumber in it."
Yeah,
that's what I think.
And then here's another idea. You know how like with a baby, you tend to hang out with people more in the mornings on the weekends.
Oh yeah,
and
afternoon.
It's easier for them to come over a lot of the times, but it's not easy to always make breakfast for people. So sometimes we'll say, "You want to come over for a continental breakfast?" Which is way easier to make than like a full-on breakfast, and like it really brings the expectations low.
That's a big difference.
We just pick up some croissants,
just easy,
chop up a bit of fruit. It's continental.
We just got to define what we're providing for people so that they don't come expecting eggs, bacon, sausages, pancakes. We don't have time for that shit. And waffles.
Yeah.
Dang, I haven't had waffles in forever. Don't want them.
Once again, you and I, pretty high achievers. We like to impress, so we're just like, oh no.
Oh,
and then
my
breakfast
gosh.
suddenly is not very relaxed anymore.
It's like, I got to make the frittata. Oh, you chop up the chives.
Throw a baby into the mix. Somebody dance with the baby.
Somebody dance with the baby. That's a thing. That's
such a thing right now.
That's probably the majority of the time I spend with Forrest is either rocking him to sleep or dancing with him.
He just friggin' loves to dance. Like, so we posted this video on Instagram, I think maybe like a week and a half ago or something. And it is just the most amazing video that I've ever seen of him because we were listening to the new MGMT album and Forrest is standing there listening. Oh no, is he crying again? Kid, it's like he knows we're talking about him. Oh, he's gonna roll off the bed. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Shoot. All right, we're back.
I had to eat more nuts.
Carly, she just nursed, so she had to eat some almonds.
I can't seem to eat enough.
Yeah. So what's going on with Forrest? Why do you got to keep going in there?
You know what? He just he leaked through his diaper for the third time today.
Oh my gosh.
I know. He's sick, so he's just like he's kind of flushing out all of the toxins, I think.
Oh yeah.
Cassie was nannying him today, and he kept having leaks, and now this is happening again. And
jeez Louise.
then I had to make a call. It's like that well, do I change him right now and then he really wakes up and all he wants to do is sleep? Or do I help him get back to sleep? And then when he's really asleep, then I'll change him. Because I have to change this entire set of pajamas now.
Oh, geez. So you didn't do it. You didn't,
No, he's just lying in pee right now. I mean, not in the bed, but like his pajamas have a bit of pee on them.
He's got a little bit of piss.
And it sounds disgusting, but like these are the decisions you have to make as a parent. What is more cruel?
Yeah.
Wake him up a lot while he's like tired and sick and he wants to keep sleeping, or wait until he's like so conked out that he's not going to wake up when I change him. I choose the latter.
Wow.
And I'm not ashamed.
Don't be ashamed. You know what? On the topic of poo poo and pee pee.
Yeah. Which I'm not afraid of anymore.
No. Well, especially Forrest's, because it's very much, my feelings towards his poop and pee is very similar to mine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to like, to smell my own poop. It's like, yeah that's
totally.
But if somebody else's poop, I'm like, oh, what I'm breathing it in. Oh, gross. But I feel like so Forrest it's just the same as mine.
But you know what's really funny is that does not apply to all babies for me.
Really?
It's just to Forrest.
No, yeah, of course not.
Other babies poop. Ooh, it's really gross to me. But I think that's just so funny.
Yeah.
These like biological quirks in us are really funny to marvel at.
Yeah, because like Forrest is kind of like me. Like he is me a little bit. Half.
Oh yeah.
Half of me.
Definitely.
It's very interesting.
Actually, something I realized about him today that is very similar to you is he doesn't seem to learn something unless he learns it through his own practice. I can't teach him anything.
Wow. but when he learns it, he gets it, right?
He just gets it.
That's me.
It's amazing. But
so he's really gonna be a slow learner.
Yeah, definitely. Like he hasn't really picked up on a lot of my gestures. There's some things that he's a little bit thick on, but he really grasps things when he grasps them.
Yeah, I love the other day
accord.
When you came home with him, and he immediately started going ooh ooh.
Oh yeah,
ooh. He learned how to do that.
We were listening to that song in the car. I got no roots, and I'm singing along, and then all of a sudden he's like ooh ooh ooh.
Oh, I love that. I love it so much. That made me so happy.
Yeah, and so we were talking about his dancing and how he got into that.
Right.
So he like really got into this song. He started like bopping, and then all of a sudden his finger raises into the air and he's like pointing up, and he's just rocking out to this MGMT song. She Works Out Too Much, it's called. And it's like one of his new favorite songs now. But that's also his new favorite dance. Like he does that to everything. He does that to like Johnny beatboxing. All of a sudden he'll start like bopping and his finger goes up in the air.
And he starts beatboxing.
Yeah, he gives that a shot too. He just loves to dance. And now he's actually learned. He doesn't really say music, but I know he's trying to say music.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm like, do you want to listen to music? And he goes, He gets all excited.
It's the big.
So then I turn the music on, and he most of the time, things evolve with kids so quickly. And so it started off with him trying to say music, and now he'll just like start to bop a little bit and point his finger to the air. And that's his suggestion, like, Mom, what do you think? Some music? Yeah.
And that's a dance move we have. So we have inherited that dance move. I have putting my finger up in the air, pointing up. Feels really good. It's kind of like church where you raise your hand.
It must be an actual thing. Like it must be something that feels good inside of us to raise our hands in the air. Because there's also that like fist pump when you're dancing, right?
But I love the point. It's so satisfying just to be like, this one, this moment is great.
I kind of suspect, actually, at first I was like, where did he get that from? But now I kind of suspect, because I was using a sign to say music, I pointed my finger to my ear and move it away. So it's like a movement where I point to my ear and move it away. And it's a finger point. And so I kind of wonder if the first time I saw him raise his finger into the air, he kind of seemed uncertain about it. He's just like finger slowly moving into the air, looks kind of hesitant about it, and then just starts dancing like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, are you not sure how to sign what I showed you? And so, but you're just going to hold your finger in the air instead? Oh,
that's so funny. Oh, man, it's so cute when he does it. It's my favorite thing.
We didn't post it on our Carly and Johnny Instagram.
No, we should do that. We'll do that with this episode.
We'll post it on our Carly and Johnny Instagram account so you can, and our Facebook page too, so you can see it.
Fingers in the air like you just don't care. Or you just do, or you really do care. You know what? What's up with that saying? Hands in the air like you just don't care. It feels good to care.
No,
doesn't
but
it?
not when you're caring about what people think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But what
Yeah.
if you could also say, like, if you really care, put your hands in the air. That would still be like, I care.
You know, but
like at
when
a
you're-
rally or something, it's like, this is an issue. Everybody, if you care, put your hands in the air.
That's fair if that was the context
fair.
that they're saying, but in the context of the song, which I totally meant to rhyme that,
Right.
but in the context of the song, I think that they're encouraging you to let loose.
Right, of course.
Which would mean like not caring about what people think of you.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
to say like, oh, I'm listening to this song and I'm just like feeling great, so I raise my hands in the air because I care
Like-
so much about this song. That's not really the sentiment.
But it could be like at like a rally or something where it's just like, everybody, we're talking about a really serious issue. Put your hands in the air if you really care.
Absolutely.
Like,
you could
put
do that
your
at
hands in the hair like you really care.
Yep. You could
Try
do
to
that.
think of the difference between those two hand movements. Like hands in the air like you just don't care, or more like this. If you don't
Yeah,
see my, I'm just
waving.
like, wait, woohoo, loose. But
you
if
like
it's like,
throw them in the air,
yeah.
you know.
But if it's like, put your hands in the air like you really care.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, pick me. That kind of hand gesture.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see that. An eager hand gesture. It's a little bit of a lame thing to say. Like put your
Is
hands
it?
in the air like you really care.
I think
I
that's
don't
a
know.
great thing. I think that's a great thing to say.
I guess maybe it depends on
I'm
the
gonna say that.
context. I just imagine like a really nerdy activist group.
But what if it's like a really cool person who's like has so much charisma? It's like, hey guys, if you really care, put your hands in the air.
Okay, yeah, no, I could see that. I feel like you could be that person.
Wow.
I nominate you.
Wow.
What's it going to be about?
I'm going to do it. I'm going to be like, you guys, if you in a small group, I'll start small. In a group of
If you
three.
care about psychedelics, put your hands in the air.
Yeah, I would say that. I'll do that at work. Hey guys, if you really care, put your hands in the air.
Oh, they'll go for it.
Cause I'm kind of that guy,
Mm-hmm.
not intentionally. I just say things out.
Here's the thing about you and I, Johnny, and this is why you and I get along really well, is like we're eager beavers.
Yeah, we're beavers for sure. We're also very eager.
We're eager beavers.
Yeah.
And so we got along really well because we were eager beavers for each other, and that like didn't scare either of us away.
No, it didn't. No. Man, I'm like that now with people. Like, this sounds so bad, but like I have to stop myself from calling all my friends all the time.
How many friends have you scared away? Because I scared a lot of friends away.
Probably a lot. I probably am scaring a lot of friends away right now, but they've been in for the long game, so like we're still friends.
Right, that's nice. No, I have like a lot of people that come to mind that I like. We hit it off because my first impression is great, and then I just like got over eager and scared them away. I can think
yeah.
of so many people. Like I've kind of refined my personality a little bit more because like I don't give as much of a shit anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but for
You
a while
just-
there,
you
I just
don't
like,
care.
oh, I really, really cared because
Wow.
it just. I don't know. I grew up in a family of, 5 kids all living together, theater kids, and we were just all super intense and super into each other, and we could read each other's minds practically. And, when you're in a social situation coming from that, you just kind of expect that everybody's going to roll with you like that. And that's not how it works for everybody else.
Yeah.
So I had friends, but I just really had to hold back from getting too excited with them
Wow.
because otherwise I'd just scare them away.
But it feels good to have a friend that's just like, I'm excited too.
Yeah,
Yeah, my buddy Kane is like that.
totally. My friend
just
Kristen,
excited.
and
Yeah.
I became best friends in like a matter of days, which she's also a Gemini. So,
Oh, astrology. Mm-hmm. Oh,
and then
yes.
my friend Danielle, her and I hit it off like super quickly as well.
She's
It was
so
just
cool.
like immediate.
You know what? These are so now when they put their hands in the air, do they care?
You know what? Kristen probably not. Like
Yeah.
she's at no, she does at concerts. It's like she doesn't care what people thinks of her, but she really cares about the band.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of an oxymoron.
I feel like putting your hands in the air in certain, like if you're in church, putting your hands in the air,
you care.
You care.
Yeah.
But if
But-
you're at a concert, you don't care.
But once again, I think it's a bit of a paradox because you don't care about what anybody around you thinks. Because some people in church or at a concert
At
might
church,
just
it's like wow.
some people.
Wow.
But some people just
Wow.
sit around, just like like,
But you gotta
imagine
care enough.
imagine it's like, you know, a friend of yours, and all of a sudden they're putting their hands in the air, but you have your reservations, and you're just like kind of weirded out a little bit. Like, there's that.
Yeah, but you care so much about the message, and you care so much that you're just like, I care about this. I'm gonna put my hands in the air because I just really care.
So it's like you care more than you don't care.
Yeah. So I wonder how many people raise their hands in the air because they care versus people who raise their hands in the air just because they don't care.
That's a $1 million question,
I would say most people raise their hands because they care. Think about how many people raise their hands in the air in school. Like, it's like, oh, I care about this. It's like, how many people, you know, do this? Oh, me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
raising
true.
my hand in the air.
You're putting yourself out there.
Like I really care.
You're actually
Sincere.
putting yourself out there.
Like you care. You're putting yourself out there. You're raising your hands in the air like you care.
What's something that you've been meaning to put yourself out there for, Johnny? What's it going to be? Talking to the neighbors?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, geez. Put my hands in the air like I really care about. I'm putting my hand in the air right now.
Yeah. You are. I don't know why.
You know what's funny? We didn't meet our challenge this week,
which we mentioned.
But I've had these fantasies of, like, in the middle of this podcast, I'm like, I'm gonna run over and knock on their door and make a plan. But that seems a little bit like not very sincere.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of like a raise your hand in the air like you just don't care. Because if I did care, my hands were in the air in this particular situation, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm caring. It's late, or it's 11 o'clock. I know they have babies. I care.
Yeah.
Let's just look out the window to see.
Oh, they got a TV on. What are they watching?
This is so bad. Looks like
some kind of news program. No. It's a soap opera.
Oh, it's definitely a soap opera.
But it's an Indian soap opera too. Wow. I would love to know what an Indian soap opera is about.
We need to get
remember when we saw a trailer for a movie in the Philippines?
Yeah.
And it was so interesting because they kept they go between English and Tagalog, which is the Filipino language.
Oh, it's so jarring.
It's so bizarre because we were at the theater to watch a Star Wars movie, which was in English, but the trailers were for Filipino movies, and they would just go in between saying words, which I'm not going to try and
it's like
make
we
an
can just say let's say the Philippine Tagalog is like la la la.
La 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 la. I love you. La 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 la.
Christmas. La 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 la. Cheeseburger. It's kind of like that.
La 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 la. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
They just say random things in English all of a sudden. It was totally bizarre.
It was interesting. Mm-hmm. It was very interesting.
Movie theaters in foreign countries, though, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. You know what I miss about that, which we can't do anymore? Double features. We did that so much in Southeast
Double
Asia.
features. Oh, especially in Thailand. We saw a lot of movies in Thailand.
Yeah.
Which that means we basically paid respects to the king so many times. Because in Thailand you have to stand for, I think it's an entire 3-minute video. You don't have to anymore because the king died, but
maybe
which was
you do still.
devastating for people in Thailand.
You should still, if after he's dead. Maybe it's 6 minutes now that he's dead.
Maybe. But yeah, you have to stand for this 3-minute video about the king, which you never actually see a real picture of him either. It's all
a beautiful
sketches.
Video. It is really video.
Beautifully made. But everybody has to be silent and stand up as though it's for the national anthem.
And
or something.
also, this is very weird.
Every movie.
Yeah, and beyond just the movies. This happened. We were in this very famous market in
Phnom Penh?
No, that's not
in Thailand.
Thailand. What's the?
Where were we?
We were in planes.
Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai, yeah, Chiang Mai, the very famous market in Chiang Mai. So many people, so populated, it's crazy. All of a sudden, everything's quiet, and you hear this song on loudspeakers, and everybody's facing one direction. And it's just silence, and you realize everybody's paying respects to the king. It was so eerie.
I mean, I guess it's eerie for us because it's a different. It's just so different from what we would experience here. But it is also a really interesting thing to see everyone come together about one thing. There's one thing we can all agree on, and it's extremely public, and it is stopping to pay respect to the king.
And it's positive.
Which is why, yeah, absolutely. And which is why it was so devastating when the king died, because there were so many people with differing opinions in Thailand. But one thing they all could agree on was how much they loved the king.
Yeah.
So, I think that there's been a lot of clashes since he passed, and maybe there's a period of mourning that has kept that under control a bit. But that has been the worry in Thailand.
I must admit, I have not been up to date with Thailand news.
No, neither have I. I should look into that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll hear all about it when I go to Vietnam.
Thailand. You're going to Vietnam. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Guess where I get to go while you're in Vietnam?
Yeah?
Red Deer.
Red Deer, wow.
But you know
Red
what?
Deer.
There's something really exciting.
Magical place. It's very flat.
It is.
Very flat.
Yeah, it is really flat.
Wow.
I really liked Red Deer when we visited it. My brother lives in Red Deer, and my nephews. I got a lot of nephews in Red Deer, I just realized.
You got 3.
Yeah, all my nephews. Crazy. I can't believe they
all your nephews are in Red Deer.
They're just like generations apart, and they all live in the same place.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, I get to go spend time with family, which is great. So
Hey, and shout out if you are listening to this, Josh and Remy, and possibly
I'm coming
Conan.
for you.
Hey, shout out to you right now. If you listen to this far into the podcast, we love you.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah, hearts.
I'm excited to see those guys.
Big hearts to you guys.
Yep.
Josh,
and my
come
sister-in-law
on.
too.
Josh, make a trip out here. Visit us. Just
come on out.
Putting that out there.
Just hop in your truck. Vroom.
If
family is really important and amazing. And actually, when we were talking about going and reaching out to our neighbors, which we did not do.
Shame on us.
Here's the thing, though, is I liked what you said about sincerity. I do feel like it needs to be a sincere thing and not just like we challenged ourselves for the podcast type of thing. We did say something to them, did we not? Oh, is the baby awake again? Come on. Can you go try?
No.
Yes. Give it a shot.
Okay.
Bounce that baby. Oh, can you change his bum?
Well, you're so much better. And we're back again. This is starting.
This is the last.
This is the last time, and I think we should actually wrap it up.
The next time that we turn this podcast off, it's going to be because we want to, not because Forrest is waking up. We had to change him. He was wet, and
that was a collaboration. I changed his shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty good actually.
He's pretty awake. I'm surprised he went down so quickly.
Me too.
Yeah,
I know, he was looking around.
Wow. So I guess got to vocalize this. This has been happening too much. Right before we record, Carly takes a handful of peanuts and chews it. Now I have to wait for her to finish chewing your damn peanuts before we can start. And I'm like, this is valuable time.
I always think I have
a
little bit more time than I actually have before. I'm just really hungry.
And now I have to watch you just like chew on these peanuts.
Why is that bugging
Louise,
so much?
I don't know why that bugs me so much. It's like one of those things that's like a
I'm
husband.
feeding our child.
No, well,
he's a growing boy, and
you have to just be like, wait, before we start, give me like 45 seconds to just chew.
I'm just a little overly optimistic.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Anyway, so we talked to our neighbors when we were going to go out. I think it was when we were going for the bike ride, right?
Right.
And we were just like, hey, and I said to them, I want to bring over some baby stuff that we don't use anymore. And he was like, yeah, that sounds good. So we did plant the seed.
The seed has been planted.
And that felt like the sincere thing. That was what came sincerely to me. And it wasn't out of character for how we've already had discussions with them. But this time we actually planted a seed for an excuse to now see them. So I think that that's really good. But besides that, we also had my brother and sister over this week, and it just felt so nice to have like that family household feel. So it does feel like
and we went to church, and we went and we it's interesting because it was my new perspective on church is and this is a good thing. It's less about like, oh, we're gonna go and we're gonna learn about God, or we're gonna read the Bible and follow these rules, and more about you're surrounded by people who you see every day on this time, and
every
then
week,
every week at this time, and you build a relationship, and that feels like that's like the best part of it.
Totally, community is so important. I have to say for the enormous number of people who don't identify with Christianity, it is a shame that that's like one of the places that you have to turn to get community. Like we need more community than just that. But if that is like something that you can like at least somewhat get behind, then it is valuable for that purpose.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I think
we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up.
I want to eat some more nuts,
and I can hear the nuts in your mouth. I can hear the leftover nuts in your mouth.
I'm sorry.
And it's
sorry.
Like, oh, it's getting to me. That's one of those things.
No more nuts during it, but it's just hard because, like, honestly, like during this podcast, I have breastfed him 3 times now.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I just like Man, you know how it's been. I've like been wasting away since he's been born.
Yeah, that's true. But the sound of the nuts in your mouth right now is equivalent to the smell of like what somebody would like have like nuts on their breath. The sound is like, wow, yeah. If you could hear smell, that's
just like it's what you would imagine.
And it's also one of those things where you hear somebody on a podcast or you're watching an interview and you're like, just drink some water.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah,
Please just drink some water. You should drink some water. You. I don't mean to embarrass you.
No, I'm rolling with it.
Yeah,
this is improv, man.
Improv, yeah.
Anyway, I've had a really nice time with you.
Yeah, I've
tonight.
had a lovely time with you.
We're still feeling out how these podcasts go, and I think thus far, this is probably like my favorite style. Let's like not try and force anything and just roll with it.
The last one was interesting. It was good to.
It was a good conversation, but it just felt a little forced.
A little bit. I mean, there were a few times where I went on my meandering thought process, and we had to correct it and be like, no, well, we have to finish.
We're doing this for us, so like whatever.
If you want to listen to, thank you. Hey, listen.
We're just going to be us 100% because we are here.
You can't do anything about it. You know what?
Exactly. And we are here to just like have a conversation with each other like normal people and in our normal way. So we're just going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it. And you know what? If you don't like it, you should change your attitude.
Yeah. An Easter egg. I just burped into the mic a little bit.
So. You did? Oh my gosh.
I'm just off the rails.
I can't have those nuts because last time I had those nuts was when we had the
norovirus
and
you vomited.
I think is on top of it, which is what making me feel gross.
Okay,
like
that's totally what it is.
You have them and I'm hearing them and I'm imagining myself throwing up.
So I have a new thing to terrorize you with, basically, is these nuts. I have a new thing to terrorize you with.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Okay. We got to go now.
We do. Yeah, it's bedtime. Up. Anyway, love you. And
love you too.
Sorry, I was talking to our listeners, but also, honey.
You love the listeners. This is good wine, by the way.
Yeah, it's really good wine if you can't tell. No, honey, I love you. Thank you for this. And I had a really good time.
And thank you for this. And I had a really good time.
Wow. And now we're going to feel good about each other for the next week. Yes, until next time.
Until next time. And we won't talk. We're not going to talk to each other.
No.
Right, for an entire week until our next podcast.
No, I'll make you breakfast tomorrow morning.
But we will.
But we won't talk.
We won't talk the whole week, just so we can make this really special. I think that's a good story.
We won't have proper conversations. It'll just be about like household tasks. If we start to talk about like ideas, we'll just be like, whoa. Save it for the podcast. All week.
But could you imagine if we actually just were quiet? We'd probably learn sign language or something, and then as soon as we can talk, we'd be like, that time on Thursday. What did you do? Why did you do that? That made me really upset. Like I didn't know you were upset. I thought it was funny. I was trying to be funny. I wasn't funny. That was real crying.
Catch up communication.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an interesting podcast.
No, it wouldn't.
No, we gotta save all of our interesting conversations for no,
whatever.
Let's stop making plans.
No. We can have an interesting conversation at any point, at any time of day, no matter how long we've been talking for. Okay? Let's just establish that because you and I have interesting conversations, and this is exactly why we're doing this. To pound the table.
Side note, I think this is the most tipsy I've seen you in a while.
I'm not tipsy. I'm just rolling with my homies, okay?
It's a good thing. Not drunk. Not close to drunk.
Thank you.
Tipsy. It's good. I feel it too. think you've had one extra glass, one little bit more than me.
It's hard to tell because you chose the giant glass.
I did.
Have,
I chose
the tiny one.
I chose the fish
so I'm
bowl.
like, you've been having so much, and I just keep pouring myself more.
Oh, right.
Anyway, I've had a wonderful time.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'll see you in bed.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. We really appreciate you guys. And if you have anything you want to contribute to the conversation, don't hesitate to find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're at Carly and Johnny, CARLY and JOHNNY. You can find us there. Let's just continue chatting with each other. Also, we've got links on our website at carlyandjohnny.com to the book we were talking about, The War of Art, and also that great big story video with the mochi makers. It's a good one. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.